Decisions like this, whenever they come, are bound to be fraught with some measure of bittersweet feelings and outlooks as to how things actually turned out. 10 months ago or so, when we learned that the tribunal was actually going to commence the hearings regarding NCC, I made a statement in which I said that one of the things we would hope is that justice delayed was not justice denied. Even in making that statement 10 months ago, the recognition was that at that time, the workers of the NCC had already been terminated for in excess of 90 weeks, which would mean that the delay had clear implications even then for denying justice, because that is over 90 weeks that individuals were without work, who we felt, if process was observed, could very well have been still in the employment of the National Conservation Commission. So the decision today only serves justice to the extent that the union's claim, and the public is being made aware that the union's claim for injustice and unfairness is justified. Where the bitter feeling comes is where, within the context of the Employment Rights Act, Section 37, there's a clear limitation as it relates to the award that can be granted. The award maxes out at 52 weeks, and that is the maximum award which the tribunal granted in both cases, the NUPW matter and the BW matter, plus severance. If we are understanding that workers have been unemployed for the last 106 weeks plus, then that award of 52 weeks plus severance obviously still has some gaps where workers still remain in unemployment. But at least for those who had faith in the system and who went through the process, through the Employment Rights Tribunal, through the NUPW, through the Barbados Workers Union, there should be a certain sense that although workers may not be totally happy, in particular those who have not found alternatives, there has been some closing of the gaps. In terms of reward, you heard from the tribunal that the unions now have to meet with the National Conservation Commission and work out time frames. These negotiations, from our point of view, should take place post haste to make sure that the length of time in getting workers towards final settlement is not protracted any further. And one of the elements that we didn't hear captured that certainly the Barbados Workers Union would be interested in as we go to table would be the element of pension, where there were those workers who were perhaps just 2 years shy of a pension and who, if they were working today, would have already qualified for pension. But because they were terminated, did not have access to pension, we would now also want to introduce those kinds of discussions into any further deliberations that we now have to have with the National Conservation Commission.